What's up, guys? Welcome to Club Cal Online. I'm Coach Seth. I've got Crystal with me today. And we're going to take you guys through a handstand endurance / conditioning class. For equipment, you're going to need a mat on the floor. Optional to have a chair or a couch, something to put your feet up on. And we're going to need some wall space. So if you guys are set and you have all those things, I'm going to have you stand right on your mat. And we're going to bring the hands to the floor. We're going to do a stiff leg bear crawl. Crystal's going to walk forward and backward on the mat. If you guys have more space at home, feel free to take a little walk. 3, 2, 1, and begin. So as you guys are walking around your space, try to shrug your shoulders up like you're pressing your hands through the floor. That's going to be really important when we get to our handstand stuff later. Legs, just try to keep the legs more or less straight depending on your flexibility. That'll keep your hips up over your shoulders. Nice, Crystal. As you guys are walking, I want you to start moving your fingers in different directions. Move your fingers out, move them in. That's just going to give you a little more stretch in the wrist as we're warming up for our handstand work. If you have a freestanding handstand, we'll use that today, but you do not need one to take this class. So no matter where you guys are at, you'll be able to get something out of today. Nice, Crystal. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to have you guys stand it up. Come to the screen. Crystal's going to show you some wall angels. So find your wall space. Crystal's just going to bend her knees a little bit so she can flatten her entire back against the wall, specifically the low back. So check, make sure there's no space. She's going to bring her arms up into a cactus. And now, while trying to pull her wrists and elbows back toward the wall, she's going to slide them up until they're straight overhead, elbows locked where she can almost touch her thumbs together. And then she's going to come back down. Nice, Crystal. Cool. You guys can join us at home. 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. We're going to do this for about 45 seconds, which is enough for most of us. Nice, Crystal. Guys, when you get to the top, for most of us, the arms are going to come off the wall. To get the elbows straight, you cannot keep your hands on the wall. That's okay. I want you to keep the spine touching the wall the entire time. Also, your head's touching the wall, the back of your head. Nice, Crystal. If you've never done these before, or you're wondering why we're doing them, pretty soon you're going to start to feel a burn right in your upper mid back, rear shoulders. That's why we're doing it. We're opening up that handstand line. How you doing?
Good. I'm feeling it.
Burn a little bit.
Yeah.
Hang in there, guys. 3, 2, 1. Release that. Find your mat again. We're going to go down to hands and knees. We're going to stretch the wrists. We will start with the fingers turned back towards your knees. And we're just going to hold this stretch. You guys can pulse forward and back, or you can just hold this stretch right here. We're going to do this 30 seconds, and then we'll do all this again. Nice. So Crystal's got really flexible wrists. She's able to lean way back. Depends on you. I'm not able to go quite as far. But find a stretch, but don't push too hard. Shouldn't feel like someone's stabbing you. Should just feel like a good stretch. In general, try to avoid that. All right, guys, 3, 2, 1. We're going back into that stiff leg bear one more time. 60 seconds. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, and walk it around your space. If you guys didn't last time, try to do some walking backwards, some walking sideways. If you just have a mat like we have, you're just going to go forward and back. And remember to turn those fingers different directions, adding to that wrist stretch. A nice bonus I like to add in here, guys, is if you try to drop your heel to the ground every time you step, you get a nice calf stretch as well. I always like a little added calf stretch, even though we don't need that today. 15 seconds. Nice, Crystal. And 3, 2, 1. Stand it up. We're headed back to the wall one more time. So again, glue your entire spine, including the back of your head, right to that wall. Hands come up, and up we go. 3, 2, 1, wall angels. Nice, Crystal. Good job keeping that back against the wall. Again, when you guys try to get to the top, I want you to have your hands so close together that your arms start to cover your ears. And again, you can maybe touch your thumbs together. Don't grab your hands together, keep them apart, but maybe tap thumb to thumb. Nice job. With your back flat against the wall and your arms straight overhead, that's your best handstand line. If your hands aren't on the wall, it means you're going to have a slightly different shape than if your hands were on the wall. We got 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Release. Feel that burn.
Yeah.
Back to the mat, guys. Again, stretching the wrists. This time, let's go fingers forward. So plant your hands the same position that you would do a handstand. And then you're going to rock forward, rock back. If you're curious what your hands should look like for a handstand, for most of us, our pointer fingers are almost directly straight forward, and our fingers are spread out really wide. Also, the hands are just at shoulder width. A lot of us go wider than shoulders. So a lot of the time when people are taking class here at Club Cal, I'll challenge people to bring their hands in a little bit closer. That gives you a more stacked line. It was actually something Crystal taught me years ago. Helped my handstand a lot. All right, guys. 3, 2, 1, and release. Watch Crystal do one of these next reps, and then I'll have you guys join in. She's going to lay on her stomach with her arms at her low back. We're going to do some swimmers now. So this is going to look a lot and feel a lot like those wall angels, just with more range. So Crystal keeps her chin, her chest, her feet on the floor. She's going to pull her elbows up toward the ceiling, squeezing her shoulder blades, and she's going to bring her arms all the way around like she's doing an upside down snow angel. It's another angel move. And then she's coming all the way back to the low back. Awesome. You can take a rest, Crystal. You guys at home, get on your stomach, put your hands at your low back, and let's do it. Pull the elbows up, 3, 2, 1, and all the way around. This again is activating all the muscles on your mid-upper back and opening up your handstand line. Nice, Crystal. Pay special attention when your arms are overhead. Crystal's doing a great job of keeping her elbows locked. I want you guys to try to cover your ears with your biceps by reaching your hands up overhead, shrugging through your shoulders. We got 10 seconds left. Nice job, Crystal. Hang in there, guys. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and release. Nice. How are the shoulders feeling?
Good.
Okay.
Tight.
Tight. Yeah, because at least we're doing pull since we did push last time. Guys, we're going to go to the wall. We're going to work on some kick-ins. When we progress through the class today, you're going to have the option to get into a handstand. Even if you don't have one, we're going to give you options. So Crystal's going to come in next to the wall. I want her to plant her hands on the floor to begin with. If you guys don't usually enter a handstand this way, it will make it a little trickier. She's going to push her into the floor. She's going to lock her elbows, shrug her shoulders, just like you did in that line drill, and then she's going to try to kick up into a handstand against the wall. Oh, nice. And she's just going to go for kick-ups. You guys at home, if you've never done a kick-up before, Crystal, you show a couple where you just take little hops. You guys might feel nervous here. You might just take a little hop. That's totally okay. We're going to do this for about 30 seconds. So set it up at home, push into the floor, get your shoulders right over your wrists, and then go for kick-ups. 3, 2, 1, and go for it. 30 seconds at your own pace. If you get up there and you've got a handstand or you're working on your balance, feel free to work on your balance a bit. Get your forearms and your fingers working. Nice. I also want you guys to look at the floor right between your thumbs, unless you're doing a more advanced kick-up version. Got about 5 seconds here, maybe one more kick-up. Nice, Crystal. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice job. I'm going to give Crystal a rest for a second. You guys can grab some water, whatever you need to do. We're moving into our first big set. We're going to do 4 rounds of 30 seconds of a challenging handstand progression. And then we're going to take a rest in between. That means if you have a freestanding handstand, do you want to do one on the first round? Yeah. If you have a freestanding handstand, you can do 4 sets of 30 seconds freestanding. If you're not quite freestanding, you can go against a wall like Crystal just was, or will you show a version right here? Or guys, if you have a chair, you're not comfortable getting up on the wall just yet, you can put your feet up on a chair, walk your hands in so your hips are right over your wrists, and you can hold this position. Good, you can come on down. And even one more progression if you guys aren't comfortable there. You can just be right here on the floor, on your tippy toes, trying to get your hips up over your hands. Options for everybody. We have 30 seconds, 4 rounds. Choose which one you want to start with. You gonna go freestyle on the first one?
I'm gonna try it, and if I can't, I'll
Deal.
go to the
Deal.
wall.
All right, guys. Chris is gonna try in the middle of the room. You guys feel free to as well. Maybe if you're not feeling it, you go over to the wall if it doesn't work. All right, first round. 3, 2, 1, and handstand. Nice. So whichever version you guys are doing, you're pushing your hands into the floor, locking your elbows, shrugging through your shoulders. Another way to think of this is reaching your toes up toward the ceiling, trying to make your body as long as you can. Nice, Crystal. 3, 2, 1, break. Nice job. Good hold. All right, guys, in between, we're taking a break. We're just going down onto the mat and stretching the wrists or just hanging out. We're going to take an entire minute here. If you guys kind of have a good handle on your practice and you know there's a stretch you need to do, maybe you stretch your shoulders. A good position for that is just a puppy stretch right here. Armpits down toward the floor. Or you guys are chilling, stretching your wrists. I'm going to give you guys some options there. Or more, maybe you just sit there and stare at the wall for the next 30 seconds. Totally valid. Whatever version you guys choose for your handstand, I want it to be tough. So this is an endurance day. So for those 30 seconds, at the end of it, you should want to come down, whatever version it is. If you're against the wall and the wall is pretty easy for you, I want you to really focus on your line. Really shrug, really squeeze everything tight. Ready for the next one? What are you going to do on the next one?
I think I might use the wall.
Wall. Stomach to wall?
Kick in.
Cool. Awesome. Stomach to wall, back to wall. Crystal's going to do back to wall. All right, guys, so choose your progression. 30 seconds starts in 3, 2, 1, and up we go. Nice, Crystal. Awesome, yeah, and she's going to try to find her balance against the wall, which is also another progression in between. Nice. Find something that challenges you guys. Keep pushing through the floor, reaching your toes up to the ceiling. Nice, Crystal. 3, 2, 1, and release. Back to the floor, taking a break. This is actually what I'm doing for my own training at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah, trying to get back into handstands. And 30 seconds doesn't sound like a lot until you get into it and you're taking just a minute break and you're like, this is hard.
Oh, yeah.
I really like what Crystal's doing here. She's giving herself a little massage in her forearms. Another good option during this break time. The 60 seconds goes by pretty quick. Crystal, if you wouldn't mind, will you do this version next with your feet up on here? So Crystal, on the next round, she's going to show that elevated chair or feet up on a couch, something like that. She's going to show that version. It's actually quite tough. We got 15 seconds. Forearms burning?
Yeah, they're actually getting really pumped.
From trying to balance, yeah. Guys, if you didn't know already, when you're holding a freestanding handstand, oftentimes it's these muscles in your forearm that are working the most. That's where the magic lies. Let's do it. All right, guys, find your progression. Round 3 for 30 seconds. Crystal's going to put her feet up, and she's going to try to get her hips right over her wrists, shrugging into the floor. 3, 2, 1, and hold. Nice, good line. Ooh, tippy toes too. We are always trying to shrug for this endurance work today. There are many different ways to do a handstand. Today, we are always going to shrug. Nice, Crystal. Hang in there. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Release, coming back to the mat, using our rest time. Is that harder than the wall?
It's hard, for sure, yeah.
I find it really hits my low traps.
Yeah,
Really burns.
my shoulders. It's just great.
All right, guys, we're taking that 60-second rest, using this time for whatever you feel you need. If you want on this last one, you can just do it on the floor, that high inverted position.
Okay, that's great. We'll do that.
If you guys have a 30-second one arm, feel free to do that from the beginning. There's certainly people out there working on 30-second one arm handstand endurance, so I want to make sure you have a progression for you. Okay, guys, last one. Crystal's going to show a floor version. You guys do whatever version, again, is challenging for you. 3, 2, 1, and hold. So Crystal's on the floor. She's doing a big shoulder shrug, and she's trying to make her toes light by putting most of her weight on her hands. She's doing a really good job of trying to stack her shoulders over her wrists. Nice, guys. Best form you have in whatever progression you're working on right now. 10 more seconds. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and break. Nice, Crystal. Did that seem like enough? Those 4 rounds? Yeah.
Definitely hits the traps, the lower
This position, yeah. Guys at home, just move your shoulders around, move your wrists around, just give yourself a little break because we're not done yet. We're going to go into a series of moves. We're going to do some hollows, some frog stands, and some wall walks. So I'm going to have Crystal demo a hollow really quick. We'll demo all these. You guys just take a break for a second, and then we're going to get into it. So a hollow is low back is on the floor, shoulder blades are up. This is a full hollow. You can also bring your arms down, and then you can bring the knees in. This is the easiest version. Still pretty tough. You can take a break there, and I'll remind you guys, give you cues during. Second move is a frog stand. So you're going to place your hands on the floor the same way you would to kick into a handstand. And then I want you to get the knees onto the arms in whatever way feels comfortable for you. My favorite way is just what Crystal's about to do here. She's just going to pinch her legs in on her elbows, and she's going to rock forward looking straight at the floor, and she's finding her balance. Nice job. And we're coming down. You guys might feel like you're going to tip onto your face. Just put a pillow under there just in case. As long as you just tuck your chin. If you watch me here, I'm here. I just tuck my chin a little bit, and then I can come right back up. So it's not as scary as it seems. Last move is going to be wall walks. So watch Crystal do one of these. She goes into a high plank in front of the wall. She walks her feet up the wall, and she walks her hands in. You can pause right there if you want, Crystal. You guys at home, you can just take a couple steps. You don't have to get all the way into the wall, but you can. And then she's going to walk it back out. Nice, Crystal. Guys, we're going to do 3 rounds of 30 seconds each. So we're just going to move from one thing to the next. A little bit of conditioning today. Let's do it.
Do this.
All right, Crystal's ready? You guys at home, get set for your hollow. We are starting in 3, 2, 1, hollow. Awesome. Guys, the reason we train so many hollows with our handstands is because it teaches us to pull our rib cage down toward our waist. That, in turn, flattens the low back, and that makes you get that perfect handstand line that everybody's always trying to get. Nice. That is not the only way to handstand, but that is the way we teach beginners to start. And then you guys can get pretty creative after that. Keep holding. 3, 2, 1, release. We're going right over into that frog stand, spreading the fingers out, looking at the floor. 3, 2, 1, and try to balance. Awesome. Guys, the reason we're doing frog stands today is because this is going to teach you what to do with your hands in order to balance a handstand. If you can balance a frog stand, you have the control in your hands to do a handstand. It's just like standing. You just think of your hands like you normally think of your feet. You're going to rock forward and back, and you're trying to control it. 3, 2, 1, release. Now we're headed to the wall. Wall walks, guys, as far up as you're comfortable. Stay safe. 3, 2, 1, up we go. Nice, Crystal. You walk up, you pause for a second, you walk back down. Nice. Some of you guys will walk your hands all the way into the wall. Some of you guys will just take a couple steps. That's okay. Or maybe just feet on the wall. Maybe not even a step yet with the hands. You'll get better over time. I remember my first wall walk. It was terrifying. 3, 2, 1. Release, guys. We're right back into the hollow. We got 2 rounds left. We're transitioning quick. Hollow in 3, 2, 1, and hold. Nice, Crystal. So we got our shoulder blades up. We got our low back down. Pulling our ribs to our waist. Hanging in there?
Yeah.
I can see your forearms are burning out on those frog stands. Yep. Got 10 seconds, guys. 3, 2, 1. Flip it over. Try to get into that frog stand. 3, 2, 1. Frog stand. If you guys are having a lot of trouble with this, keep one of your toes on the ground. Just rock forward and just tippy toe it. Just float it and back down. Float it and back down. That way that foot is always there to save you. Nice, Crystal. Hanging in there. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and release back to the wall. Crystal, you take as many breaks as you need, by the way. All right, guys, let's do a wall walks. 3, 2, 1, and up we go. Yes, awesome. Crystal's doing another version, guys. I forgot to mention you can keep your feet on the floor and just walk the hands into the feet and walk them back out. Crystal did a really tough handstand push-up workout right before this, so she's feeling it. Hang in there, guys. 3, 2, 1, and release. One more time, guys. Back to our hollow. Abs should be burning. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, hollow. Crystal, I think you can take a rest day tomorrow.
I think so too. I think so.
Awesome. Good job. Guys at home, keep those shoulder blades up, keep that low back down, check in on yourself, see if you can slide your hand below your low back. If you can, bring those knees in. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Last frog stand. Spread those fingers out. Again, keep the toe on the floor if you need to. 3, 2, 1. Rock it forward. If you guys are finding this frog stand challenging at home, and it's not just because you're really fatigued right now, add this into a daily routine. Do this for 30 seconds a day. Work your way up until you can balance like this for about 60 seconds. It will benefit your handstand practice, I promise. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Release, guys, back to the wall one more time. We got these wall walks, 3, 2, 1, and up we go. Maybe we're doing the version Crystal's doing, maybe we're going right up on the wall. Up to you. Find something that's challenging, but you can still do it. Nice, guys. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Release. How you doing?
Yeah. Forearms.
Forearms on fire.
Thank you.
Boom. All right, guys. Crystal survived. Hopefully you guys did too. Next time you do this, maybe even try the next progression up. There's a lot of room in this class to make it more difficult. Thanks so much for taking class. Feel free to stretch out for a little bit. I'll see you guys next time.